Let's talk about gifting today. I had an interesting conversation with one of my clients from out of state, talking about giving a gift to their kids, and had several questions for me that they weren't really sure what to do and were confused on the rules. That's what we're here for. So a very productive conversation. Essentially, as the story goes, they wanted to gift some money to their kids, and maybe their kids' spouses was going to have actually us set up an investment account for them along the way to help them get started, and wanted to know what to do and were worried about taxes. Well, okay, that's fair. Always good to talk about things before we do them as opposed to doing them after the fact. And then we find out, oh, well, if you had done this, you wouldn't have paid a penalty, you wouldn't have paid a tax, something like that. So we welcome the phone calls, we welcome the emails. Always make sure to include my assistants on those emails to make sure I see them. But that being the case, definitely get a hold of us. So in a nutshell, what was going on here is they were worried about paying taxes on this gift and they were confused about the rule. So we went through the rule with them. Well, how does the gifting rule work? Well, it's 2025, so you can give up to $19,000 to anybody that you would like to. You can give it to a family member, a non-spouse. A spouse, you can give as much money as you want to. Some spouses really like that rule. I doubt Congress will ever change that. But you can give money to your children. You can give money to your grandchildren, nieces and nephews. You can give it to your neighbor. You can give it to me. You can give it to whoever you want to. It can be a total stranger. But if you've got a really large estate like these folks do, where you're looking at maybe having a $20 or $30 million estate or more at your death, there are some tax considerations for this. And so we want to actually track their gift to make sure that it goes where it needs to, and they don't have to worry about paying some estate taxes later on or having their children pay estate taxes on those gifts later on. So if you're well off, maybe you won the lottery, maybe you're just a really good saver, maybe you owned a business, many things can happen to put you in that category. Maybe you inherited money and then were a good saver, whatever. If you've got a large estate right now, these are something I would say large estate right now, $10 million or more, you probably need to pay attention to this rule and make sure you're keeping track of the gifts that you're giving. So in this particular case, they thought they could only give $19,000 to their son and daughter-in-law. Well, actually, after we talked through it, I explained, well, you could give money to your son, $19,000. You can give $19,000 to your daughter-in-law. You can give $19,000 to each of their 4 kids if you wanted to. So now we're talking about maybe giving away $100,000. Ironically, though, they could give even more money away if they really wanted to, because the wife, she could give money to son, daughter-in-law, and 4 grandkids, right? Actually, if it's 4 grandkids, it'd be 120. The husband could do the same thing. He could give $19,000 away to all 6 of those people as well. So now we're talking about almost $250,000 that we're giving away. So, as always, when you're thinking about doing things like that, we don't want to be in the way of your generosity. So don't get me wrong there. But it is really important to know what the rules are and how they work, because oftentimes people do make mistakes. These are things that we're tracking for them, so we're happy that they asked how it worked again, because we're going to mark that down for them. We're going to make sure that they don't run afoul of the rules. So it's just one less thing for them to worry about. Give that money to the kids, help them get started, buying a house, starting a business, paying for college, whatever those things are. The other thing that I would point out is this gifting rule is totally different than something called QCDs, or qualified charitable distributions. We've got other videos that we'll have on qualified charitable distributions and how they work and how they don't work and different rules to follow, but that's a different video. In the meantime, if you've got questions, if you want to give us money, call our office, ask us the hard questions. We'll be happy to see if we can answer those tough questions and get you set straight. So until then, talk to you later.